Hey everybody, T.timman here, and today I bring to you a video of an awesome mech that I built. Behold, a giant mech built for a Technic figure. One of my most awesome creations to date. So, this is my awesome giant mech. It's supposed to be an EXO-FORCE mech. Of course, I haven't come up with a name for either the pilot or the mech itself. So let's get started looking at some of the awesome features it has. Let's start with one of the arms. When compared to a minifigure, it's still pretty huge. Let's start with some of the most awesome features. Well, because of the way it attaches to the body with the click joints, this here whole section of armor is at an angle, sloping inwards. And as is common in like EXO-FORCE mechs, because this was designed to be a giant EXO-FORCE mech, the upper arm is skinny, and it gets bigger towards the hand, starting at the elbow. And I can't take full credit for the hand design, because I kind of borrowed the design from Chris Roach, aka Boys with the Most Toys. So, you should check out his work. He used giant hands like this. Either it was in his Metroplex build, or it was Omega Supreme. So he builds awesome Transformers. That's where I got this basic hand design from. You should check it out. And I put the cool shoulder armor on the top because, well, it's a battle mech. It's gotta have shoulder armor. I was going to attach like missile pods to it, but I didn't have time before I needed to have it finished. And just didn't have time afterwards to put them on either. And the other arm. Now you'll notice that they don't both match in colors. That's because I kind of ran out of sloped bricks in the same colors. So they're half red, and the other halves are other colors, and white around the hands because I felt that to be best. And let's get onto the legs then. Just like with the arms, they're huge. And of course, they've got giant knee spikes, which is a feature I kind of like. I mean, still, it's a battle mech. It's supposed to have awesome armor. And so once again, like with the upper half of the leg, it's thin and noticeably shorter, as is common in the EXO-FORCE sets and the comics that were made of them. And one thing you might notice is that kind of used the basic design of the feet, like from the Grand Titan set, mostly because, well, I really liked that ankle design because it allows for a lot of mobility without having to be really bulky and yet stronger than ball joints, because the ball and socket joints that Bionicle use, like with hands as you saw, they're not as strong and so not suitable for ankles. I know. It's like, well, if it's able to wobble that easy from side to side, how can it be all that good? Well, I tested it, and I was able to have the Mech balancing in like a running type pose on one of these feet. So that's testament of the strength of it. And just the feet next to the minifigure is pretty huge. Could easily stomp one and it would be like, oh, I squashed a bug. Oh well. And I also included jets on the back because the Mech is supposed to be like primarily ground-based, but able to fly short distances, like the Gate Guardian. I think it was the Gate. No, it was the Golden Guardian. The Gate Guardian was a much smaller thing. The Golden Guardian had jets and small wings on its legs, so it could fly short distances, in the comics anyways. And once again, while not perfectly colored, they are symmetrical. Or mirrored, rather. That's mostly because that's something I really like, is having that symmetry. Otherwise it's like, oh, it's so annoying, it doesn't even look the same. It's crazy. And then, also, last but not least, the cockpit / body. Now, that their angle, I guess you could say, is because for structure, I needed for the weight to be leaning backwards at least a little bit to help keep it standing straight, which is no easy feat. And so that's the main reason why I've got it like that. And of course it's largely open areas in there because, well, once again, because of weight. And 2 swords for the technic-figure to be able to grab when he's hopping down. And of course, every good cockpit has to be able to open up. I made mine so that it's able to open up completely, 180 degrees. And, as you'll notice, complete with control panel. Right at the perfect spot for his technic-figure hands. Because all the official sets didn't have much for a control panel. And I managed to include one thing that was in one of the the first promotional video that wasn't in any of the sets. The shoulder harness that would, well, obviously go down over their shoulders. Of course, the main reason for that is that my technic-figure's ankles are pretty wobbly, so he's not able to stand all that well. So I put the shoulder harness there so that he could stand up. And the Technic bricks are there so that I'd be able to have bricks going that way, up and down, when the rest were going that way. And of course, 2x2 jumper plates for his feet to be on. That way it's not so strong of a connection that the technic-figure rips up the plates when you're trying to take him off. And these here two pieces, they are of course there so that he doesn't wiggle from side to side because, well, he's a technic-figure, and because of their flexibility, they're able to wiggle from side to side, which I didn't want him doing. Which is why I put those under his elbows, and also the shoulder harness, because it keeps his head from wiggling about. Sorry about the camera going out of focus for a second there. So yeah, really awesome overall, and kind of difficult to see, but the, I guess you could say, running lights there, they're really more of for being a step for when he's hopping down. Because, let's see, just a second. Sorry about all this time of not being on the screen. As you can see, just a second. Camera higher. Sorry about all that shaking. Still kind of high, but of course I kind of like the idea of the technic-figure like just hopping down from way up there. Safe? Well, no, not really, but in my opinion, pretty cool. And when you look, it's really not so bad, like so high of a jump to go from up in the cockpit to step down to the ground. I mean, obviously not anything you'd be able to jump right back up to, but definitely the jump you could make going downwards. And as you can see, I had to angle the cockpit so that it would stay balanced. Still pretty cool though. And of course, just a second. And the swords are of course the right size for the technic-figure. Have two awesome large swords. Obviously using Golden City technology, you know, based on the story, if you really read the EXO-FORCE comics story. Of course, if you haven't read it, I'm not entirely surprised. It was a relatively short-running theme, started in 2006, ended in 2008. Relatively short-running theme, but definitely got some attention. Was able to get its own wiki, where there's actually some great fan fiction that I would recommend reading, by the way. Pretty good story there. So yeah, this has been my, well, I guess it was kind of a review of my giant EXO-FORCE mech. And I will have links in annotations and below the video so you can check out some of the stuff that I mentioned, you know, like the EXO-FORCE wiki and Chris Roach / Boys with the Most Toys, and his awesome Transformers. And well, like, comment, subscribe, dislike the video if you didn't like it, and have a great day. See you later. God bless. Bye.